Cars as Eye YouTube channel, and this week I've been super excited because we've been given the Volvo C40 Recharge to test. Now I have to say, when I first saw the pictures of it when it was released, I thought it looked a little bit awkward, but in real life I think it's an absolutely beautiful machine. I think it is really, really lovely. And as you saw at the introduction there, when you unlock the car, the rear lights sort of come on bit by bit, which looks absolutely awesome. And you know, obviously we haven't got a full grille here because it's an electric car, you don't need it. But in my opinion, I actually think because it matches the colour and you've got the gloss black inlay down here, I think it looks fantastic, very sleek, smooth and sophisticated. Of course, it's pretty similar to a Volvo XC40 fully electric, you know, because they share a lot of the same components, and the same for the Polestar 2, of course, like the sister brand. But join us while we take a look around this Volvo C40 and I'll tell you a bit about it. Down the side of the C40, I personally think it looks absolutely great. Now, of course, it's like a coupe style SUV, so the roofline tapers down towards the rear of the car, and it kind of like incorporates down into the stylish traditional rear Volvo shoulder lights at the back. And on our particular model, with the forged blue paintwork, the jet black rooftop and the privacy glass and the black window surrounds, it looks really, really stunning. But when you come around to the back, you know, the good looks continue, and on this particular model we've got there's a spoiler as well, which perhaps hints to the exceptional performance that the recharged twin motor on this particular vehicle has. Now, when the twin refers to it having two electric motors, one at the back, one at the front, making it four-wheel drive, but I'll talk about all the powertrains a bit more later. Opening up the boot, despite the sporty coupe styling, I'm really impressed with the load capacity. You know, the load height is not too bad, it's wide, and carried on from the V40 model, sort of quite a few years prior, you've got the shopping hook hangers here, so you can divide the boot and hang the shopping off. And there's also a big bit of storage down there, so you don't have to have your charging cables in the front boot. You can put them in there, which is probably quite a good idea, because to get into the front you have to like pull the lever twice and lift up a separate cover, but I will show that in a second. So you can also store them in there, which is a good option to have. And if you want more versatility, which of course you'd expect from a Volvo, you can fold the seats down, which I'll do so now. And as you can see, it reveals a whopping load space, and you know, it's a very usable space as well. No lip at all, and once you take the parcel shelf out, you know, it's a proper good size indeed. So yes, you do not have to compromise on the practicality of this Volvo, despite its coupe styling. So I'm really, really pleased with its practicality side. When you're speccing your Volvo C40 Recharge, there's two battery specifications you can choose from. From the entry price point of the C40, it comes with a front-wheel drive battery motor that provides 231 horsepower and will get to 62 miles per hour in 7.4 seconds. So by no means a rocket ship, but pretty damn excellent performance. And of course, being an electric motor, like the initial acceleration is excellent. Or if you want extra performance or four-wheel drive, you can go for the Recharge Twin, which means that it powers the front and the rear wheels, and it has 408 brake horsepower and gets this 2.1 ton SUV coupe Volvo to 62 miles per hour in 4.7 seconds. I mean, isn't that crazy? But both of the power battery specifications have a top speed of 112 miles per hour, but that's the same for all Volvos, whether it's a petrol one as well, because they've just limited all the top speeds due to safety reasons. So obviously the front-wheel drive one does get slightly better energy efficiency due to using less energy, but on paper the four-wheel drive twin motor like we've got here has a claimed combined range of 266 miles. In the real world though, it's more sort of 220-ish in the summertime. Obviously in winter it'd be a bit less. But I think, you know, I like how there's really an option for every buyer, and I think potentially you could get away with just having a front wheel drive one, and if you need to go drive in the snow or whatever, just stick some winter tyres on and it'll do a good enough job. When you look underneath the vehicle, it's extremely aerodynamic, because there's no exhaust pipe or anything like that. It's just like sheets of plastic and metal that's so silky smooth all the way underneath the vehicle, so the air can flow very free flowing, of course increasing your efficiency. Jumping up front of the Volvo C40, there's not even a start button. There's a resemblance of where it once was in the Volvo XC40, but to drive, to jump in, it senses when you're on the seat, press the brake and shift the drive, and away you go. It's that simple. So once you finish driving, similarly, literally just put it in park, handbrake comes on by itself, and just get out. But in terms of the car itself, it's a really lovely interior, and I'm very impressed with sort of the overall fit and finish of it, considering it's only a 40 series Volvo. We've got a gorgeous panoramic roof up here, which, goes right to the exterior extremities of the vehicle. Got a frameless rear view mirror. The portrait central infotainment system, which now, like most of the new Volvos, comes with Google operated Google system. So let's hope that the navigation is good. You would hope so. And there isn't any driving modes as such. You can just turn one pedal drive on or off. It's worth noting though that the one pedal drive is not like a sensitivity of it. It's just like on or off. So when you have it on, it is very sort of harsh in the braking, so you can pretty much drive without using the brake at all, which is pretty nice, prolonging the life of those brake pads and discs. Like I say, quality excellent. Of course there's some scratchy plastics on the bottom, but the whole car is built extremely well. Storage, we have a central bit there, a bin here which can be removed and make an extra storage bit if you wanted. Wireless phone charger on this particular model. The glove box isn't huge, as you can see. It's literally just pretty much a shelf. From the time you put the small owner's pack in there, it's pretty much full. But just like the XC40, there's a clip there, a hook there, sorry, so you can hang a bag off there. Obviously not too heavy, and of course, as you can see, the door bins are lined with like a fabric material. So not great if you spill something in there, but the size, then you can get a proper big bottle in there. Which for anyone that owns one of the older V40 hatchback models would be very jealous of, because they're very, very small in the V40. Of course, up front we have a fully digital driver's display, and yeah, it's just a very nice place to be. Also worth noting that even though we have sort of Alcantara and leather looking seats, the full interior of this car is leather free, including the steering wheel, the gear shift. Doesn't it look great? Like, if you didn't tell anyone, you really wouldn't know, and of course that's really good for sustainability. Fun fact for you as well, the floor mats, which are really nice textured ones, are made of 100% recycled materials, which is great. So Volvo really does have a commitment to sustainability inside of their vehicles. So you want to find a charging station near you. That is very simple to do. At the top here, next to the maps, you've got a little charging icon, and it finds all the charging points, within sort of like a few miles. And once it loads, the signal isn't great around here. It did load a minute ago, so there we are. Not quite sure whilst it's showing a Tesla charger, because I don't think that's much good. That's number one. But you can just like click a charging point, for instance, and it will show you like how much battery percentage you have left on arrival and everything like that. It's a great feature, and of course just press start and it'll take you directly there. Also, it does say like offline, so it did warn us that one of the charging stations was shut. So obviously I'm sure it's not 100% accurate, but it is a lot better than what's in some other electric cars. Also, talking about infotainment screen, we do have the Harman Kardon upgraded sound system, and what you'll notice is that there's no actual speakers in the side of the doors down the bottom. There's only a tweeter at the top, because most of it comes from the front of the car in the dashboard. Volvo says that's to maximise space, and like I said, that's where the big door bins come from. So in the back seat of the Volvo C40, getting in, you've got to duck a little bit lower than what you would have to do on XC40 for the electric. However, once you're in on the excellent leather looking like seats in Alcantara, which of course are not actual leather, they really do look great. Leg room is fantastic. This driving position here is for a 6-footer, and I'm pretty much 6 foot as well, so you know I have plenty of space for my legs. Headroom, it's borderline, like it's okay for me, and I've got about another inch on top of my head, but of course if you're like that much taller, you will have to slouch a little bit, but I think for most people it'll be alright. In terms of comforts, you've got a lovely padded armrest here, 2 cup holders. Got heated seats on this particular model, but that is not standard on sort of the entry level ones, and 2 USB-C chargers. On that note, there's 2 more USB-C chargers at the front and a wireless charging pad on this particular one. Moreover, there's very good door bins. Yes, they're not that wide, but the actual height of the size of bottle you can put in there is really good. And you know, the quality is as good back here as it is in the front. You know, some cars, they have very good quality plastics in the front of the doors, but bad in the back. But on the back here, it's still lovely and padded, which is great to see. Earlier in the video, I added a text box which mentioned how there have been improvements to the battery of the C40, and that's true. If you go and buy a Volvo C40 now, you have the option to have up to 341 miles of range if you go for the longest range version. This is because the battery has been changed and now offers a rear wheel drive bias. So if you buy a 2-wheel drive Volvo C40 with a single motor, it's going to be powering the rear wheels only, as previously would have been the front. This, according to Volvo, allows quicker charging and also a bigger battery range. And you know, some people may be excited about this, that may offer better driving dynamics, and this could possibly be true. But there's also slight concerns from some people how it may affect sort of grip in wintry conditions. Although Volvo says this shouldn't be a problem and won't be a problem, and actually say it's going to have an advantage in those conditions, but in reality, only time will tell. So the Volvo C40 Recharge is an excellent proposition of a car with super comfort levels, exemplary refinement, gorgeous looks, and the options of the front wheel drive and the 4-wheel drive battery specifications, which is great depending on your need. The only downside is that the rear visibility is slightly restricted due to the very sloping roof line. When you look through the rear view mirror, it really is kind of like a little letterbox, and there is no rear wiper, unfortunately, which is a little bit annoying, but that does not downgrade the car overall. Like, it is an absolutely incredible vehicle, and yeah, I couldn't really recommend it enough. And that's the Volvo C40. Let me know what you thought about the car in the comment section below, and if you could also like and subscribe to the channel, that really would help with future videos and the growth of the channel. And pay attention for many more videos upcoming, as there is plenty more content already recorded and ready to go.